Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to pour this small section of driveway in between two residential properties. We're also going to be pouring a driveway sidewalk that's in between, and also a little apron. The reason we had to do all of this is because before they had a really aggressive slope from the street up into from the apron and towards the driveway. So we were able to lower all of the sidewalk level and the driveway and the apron. So now the homeowner is going to have a lot easier access into their driveway. Please stay tuned. If you want to learn how to set forms and pour all kinds of concrete work with the proper finishing techniques, then you're in the best place here on YouTube, since that's all we do here at Eternal Rock Construction. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any videos that we're going to be uploading in the near future. Here we have a 3x10 concrete apron area that we recently removed. This is the part of the curb of the wing. They typically have 3 foot wide on either side. Up against the street, it's typically quite a bit thicker concrete, and then it reduces to about 6 inches where it meets with the public sidewalk. We also had to replace about 27 lineal feet of the public sidewalk area. It's about 7:30 in the morning, so our concrete truck just arrived. These are the tools that we're going to be using. We have the bull float, the mag float, we have the trowel, the screed board, the broom finish brush, and the come along rake. So for the driveway portion of the pour, we're going to go ahead and wheelbarrow it in. Since it's kind of narrow, this is the easiest way to pour it in there. The concrete truck, they have those chutes, but they only extend up to a certain length. So whenever we have this kind of a situation, you can easily just wheelbarrow the concrete inside. And once we do that, immediately we start floating the concrete along the edges. Afterwards, we have a screed board. For the screeds, we have a lot of different sizes and measurements. Since this driveway, it's about 7 feet wide and approximately 10 feet long, we decided to use a screed board that will fit right in there. This is the results after we gave it the first pass with the screed. You can see there's still it's still pretty rough and whatnot. So after that, we're going to run the bull float, and then we have a section towards the left that we had to remove. It's about 6 feet of the sidewalk, and all of this, it basically goes sloping down towards the center where it meets with the driveway. Before, all of this was raised up and more level, and the reason we had to replace all of this concrete is because the homeowner was having a hard time to get their car from the street up into their driveway because the apron was sloped really aggressive, and so the car was bottoming out quite a bit. So thankfully, with the city, we were able to remove enough concrete, and they allowed us to remove soil and bring the slope down, and we were able to get a perfect pitch. So that way the homeowner can easily get into their driveway now without hitting the bottom of the car. So we're almost getting through with this pour. It's a smaller one, so this is something that we should be able to get through here pretty quickly. Once you start pouring, we have in this job we have like 4 people that are helping us out. One guy has the edger tool that you saw over there. We have another guy with the hand float. He's floating the wing of the apron. We have another person that is helping us out with the screed board. That's David right there. And so between the edging, the screed, the hand float, and then we also have this bull float, we start using those things immediately, so that way we can start evening out the concrete and floating the whole thing. right there where you see the stake that he just bumped into, there's a form board that goes through that area. So here in a little bit, we're gonna remove that form board and we're gonna fill in that gap with concrete. That way we don't have like any problems there, because if you just remove the form or whatever you have there, and if you don't fill it in properly, then later it could create like a weak spot, and it will definitely create a crack right there. I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. So we're starting to work the curb of the apron. We have that other street size board right there. It helps us to just even out all of the concrete surface and remove any excess material that we don't need. And we're starting to as well float the apron. And this is the area right there that I mentioned. We already removed the form board. And so one thing that you want to be really careful with is you don't want to bring in too much concrete to fill it in, because if you just kind of like dump the concrete right there, it can mess with your slope, especially since the concrete is so fresh. And after we do that, we're going to go ahead and start marking the areas for the joints. Since we're in the city of Portland, they require us to have joints every 3 feet. And typically the sidewalk panels are 3 by 3. This is the mark that we just created with the string line. We basically just pull the string line from one end to the other, align it up with the existing joints, and then we snap the string line on the concrete, so that way we can use that as a reference point. And when we start creating the joints, we'll be able to just follow that line, so we get a nice straight joint all the way through. So this sidewalk is going to have a joint in the middle from point A to point B, and then we're going to have cross joints every 3 to 4 feet depending on the area. Over here on this side, since it's less of a slope, we're going to be able to even the joints equally. On the other side, because it slopes down even more, we're going to have to just measure what we have there and then just put a joint right in the middle. But either way, you're going to want to have joints in your concrete, because that helps to control the cracks. Besides all of that, we're making sure that we have the edging all through the concrete areas. And then from there, we're just going to start floating the concrete surface and filling in any dips or areas that need a little bit of concrete. And then after that, we're just gonna continue to float the surface, and then in the very end, we're just gonna run our broom across everything, because all of this is gonna be broom finish. So that's pretty much the step-by-step process on how we pour the concrete, how we work everything. Even with these like apron wings and the ramps and all that, what really helps us out is the form boards. That's why it's very important, whoever is setting up the forms and doing all of that work, that they make sure to have the proper layout and the level that's required. Because when we pour the concrete, we're basically relying on those forms to guide ourselves with floating the surface and everything. So as you can see right there, now we have a really nice sloping concrete, and we just have a lot more easier access. So the homeowner was very happy with this result, and this is gonna help them, because sometimes there's very limited parking. And but we hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell, so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we're going to be uploading every week. May God bless you, and we'll see you on the next video.